TP, in 10 years, saan na kaya tayo?
Sigurado ako, international pro gamer ka na. May sarili ka ng team, tapos may gaming empire ka na din. Swerte naman ang 5 anak natin.
5? Baby, parang ayoko pa. Gusto ko ako lang baby mo by that time. Baby.
So my first question is, I just want to ask, what made both of you say yes to the show in the first place? What kind of drew you in when you read the scripts?
That's interesting because the show's produced by the Idea First company, and me and Kokoy happen to be managed by the Idea First company.
Oh, yeah.
And we started shooting this, I think, early April, and that was like a month into the pandemic. And as actors, we were just hungry to do what we love and hungry to act again and tell stories again. So the first time they offered it to us, we didn't even know what it was going to be about. They just told us that it's going to be the BL genre, the boys love genre, and I'm going to be able to work with Kokoy again. And I just said yes without any hesitations.
Amazing.
Yeah, same. I just said yes because, of course, the script is very interesting, and I will be working again with Elijah. It's like what you said. Yeah, maybe. And for me, I've always wanted to do like this kind of role that is very challenging.
Yeah.
I like challenges. Yeah.
Yeah, and to add to what Kokoy just said, aside from the fact that we're both managed by the Idea First company, we both know the quality of work that they produce, and we've worked with them for other films and other projects before, and there's just trust from us to them.
That's really important, especially like guys mentioned. It looks very challenging, I think, to film. Like that you are on your own, and I feel like it's very vulnerable. It was always your faces, always on camera, reacting. Can you tell me a bit more about what that was like and kind of the challenges you faced with that?
It is very challenging for us to shoot at our own home because we don't used to these kind of things that, setting up the camera.
Yeah.
And we only use our phone to shoot this series, the whole series. And yeah, even the production, the PD, the production design, we do our own makeups and the wardrobes. So it's very challenging. It is very challenging.
Yeah, I think the first time we had the meeting, I couldn't believe it. They just told us. I thought my first question to Direct Percy was, we're gonna shoot this after the lockdown, right? Then his reply to me was, no, we're shooting it now. We're shooting it now while there's pandemic and while you're inside your homes. So I didn't know how it's gonna happen because as actors are very much spoiled. We barely do anything on set, and we just show up, try to look pretty, and we just act, say our lines, and deliver the emotions or whatever. And when they told us that we were gonna do it here, I didn't know how it was possible, but I guess we pulled through.
Definitely. Were you guys ever worried people wouldn't want to watch something about the pandemic? Like, I think the show does a great job of capturing that feeling, being in it. And was that ever a worry that could be a turn-off in some ways?
Yeah, personally, yeah, I was thinking about that. Maybe it would just cause more anxiety to people. But when I read the script, it was such a feel-good script.
Yeah.
It was such, at the same time, it was also realistic and brave to be honest with all the issues that are happening in the world right now. And I think that's what drew the audiences into it. The fact that it was honest and straightforward with the audience, but at the same time, just being light with it, just taking care of everybody's emotions and everybody's state at the same time.
100%.
Yes, and it's very relatable. The story itself is very relatable, and I just trust the process and the whole team that, guys, we can do this. We can do this.
Exactly, baby.
And that's also great about, because it is really feel good, like you said. So I think that's why it still works so well. People weren't turned off. Like, it's so popular. So I wanted to ask, were you surprised by the success of the show? It's been so huge internationally. Like we're talking right now, it's been such a big deal on Netflix for us. Yeah, so did that come as a surprise to you?
Well, well, I'll go first, maybe.
Go, baby.
You know, it's very surreal.
Yeah.
It's very surreal, and we did not expect this kind of, audience that we have right now. And we are very thankful and grateful, always. Always.
Yeah, it just shows, the power of this kind of story as well. Getting to tell this type of story, and the way we did it, we didn't expect anyone to like really embrace it the way we were doing it. I think when the first episode aired, there were like at the premiere on YouTube, I think there were about like 400 viewers only, and by the last episode there were just like 18,000, and that was crazy. And we still get messages from fans around the world telling us how the show inspires them. Until now, some people are just being able to watch it for the first time now, a year later.
Yeah.
That's really crazy for us. Like my baby said, it's really surreal, and we're grateful for all the recognition, all the everything, all the love, all the support. We can't believe it.
Definitely. It's interesting. You mentioned you've had so many great responses, because I wanted to ask you. You must get so many messages about the show. Is there anything that stood out to you in particular? Can you remember any response that like meant a lot or was very touching in some way?
Until now, I still get messages from people around the world thanking everybody in the whole team, how it inspired them. Some of them were able to come out because of the show, and that speaks so much to me. It gives me a different purpose as an actor, because before it was just very self-indulgent, very selfish, and now I realize the power that we hold and the influence that we hold as entertainers and actors as well, that we get to make people happy and inspire them in their own lives, and that's very inspiring and motivating for me.
So great. Kokoy, do you have anything?
You always inspire me, baby.
Oh, you inspire me too.
No, it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very thankful that this show brings happiness to a lot of people and inspires a lot of people. And me being an actor, it's very fulfilling.
Yeah, definitely. I love the impact it's clearly had this past year on a lot of people. And clearly, you both get on so well. I feel like, on screen and off screen, you obviously have this great like friendship and chemistry. Can you tell me a bit about what it's like just working together so intensely on this kind of project?
I love working with Elijah. I love always working with Elijah. I mean,
I love working
I'm serious.
with you.
Yeah, I'm serious. He is a very good actor and very caring. So, what can I ask for?
It's never a dull time when you work with Kokoy. And even off screen, we now call each other baby. Even in real life, cameras are off. Around their families, around their friends. That's what we call each other. We call each other baby.
Yeah, it's okay.
We become really close to the point that the trust is there, and there's just genuine love and care. And it's never a dull time when you work with Kokoy, even outside of work. It's always fun.
I love that.
Thank you.
So great. It really comes through on screen as well. Like that you guys really do care, and yeah, it's great. I wanted to ask a bit about the film that's coming up. I haven't seen it. I'm super excited. Do you?
We haven't seen it too.
Oh, you haven't seen it either?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
When we shot the movie, it was originally supposed to just be the second season, and as we were about to end the principal photography for the second season, I think our producers and our director and our editor had this idea to make what we were shooting into a movie as well, not just the second season, but a movie as well, because it felt cinematic. It kind of makes sense thinking about it now. And we're just excited how it's going to translate into a movie, because movie and a film and a TV series are two different things. Definitely different.
Definitely. Do you guys feel any pressure at all, just from about the film? You know, because everyone loved season 1 so much. So yeah, how's that feeling for you?
Maybe. I don't feel any pressure right now. No,
Right
don't feel
now?
pressure,
You
baby.
don't feel
I
any
don't
pressure,
feel
baby?
any pressure right now. No, because I trust the idea first company. I mean, I trust the whole team, and I think, I mean, oh my God, I mean, they're the best of the best. So
For sure.
props to the team.
Props to the team. And while we were shooting the movie in the second season, there was already pressure. But I think the whole team thrived under that pressure. You know, like we were all just challenged to make it better, make it worth it for everybody, for all the fans of the show, and even, you know, for the new viewers of the movie who are gonna discover Game Boys for the first time through this movie, and will go back to watch the first season, and then maybe hopefully fall in love with it and anticipate the second season. And I think we thrived under that pressure.
That's very exciting. So you know, you mentioned it's very cinematic, you know, and from what I've seen from the trailer and stuff, it looks very different to season 1 because obviously you're both in the same location now. It's not all screens in the same way. So can you tell me a bit about what that was like? Because it was such a different switch from season 1, right? What was that like for you?
I hated it. Just kidding. I didn't hate it. When we stepped into the set for the first time as the characters, it was also very surreal, much like the recognition we've been getting internationally, because, you know, the characters are very close to my heart now, are very close to all of our hearts now, and we just thought they deserve nothing more but this right now. You know, being together, getting to be physical with one another, getting to show their love through all the different languages that they could, without the limitations of the pandemic and just, you know, talking through video call and all of that. So yeah, I mean, it was very fulfilling, and I was very excited to work with it, and I'm very happy with what we shot.
Nice. Kokoy, do you have anything to add at all?
I'm very happy for Gab and Kai. Definitely. They deserve to be happy, and I'm just so happy for them. You know, I read the script, and it's, you know, when we shot the season 1, I thought that how will we supposed to do the season 2? I mean, the movie. I mean, I think it's the end. I mean, how will you think to extend this kind of series? And the idea first, the whole team, they're all geniuses. So I must say,
Definitely.
they're so good.
You're hyping me up. I want to see it now. I'm like, I don't want to wait.
You have a ticket already? You should get a ticket.
I actually don't yet, but I'm now talking. I'm like, oh, why have I not done that yet? I will get one definitely.
I'm so very excited for you to see the intimate scenes. Oh my God, it's so good.
Baby,
so
no
good.
spoilers.
So good, David.
Baby.
I'm sorry.
Baby, no
sorry.
spoilers.
No problem.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so excited.
Well, I did want to ask you, and obviously you can't spoil stuff, and I don't want you to spoil anything, but I wondered, is there anything you can tease just for fans? Like, what can they maybe expect? What kind of vibe maybe? Yeah, what can you tease?
Like that's what I said. Yeah.
Like, go, baby.
Okay, baby. Well, must say that there are so many like, you know, touching, you know, hugging, and, you know, like, intimate scenes, and it's very sensual.
You know, I guess all I can say, being general and all, like, now that Cairo and Gabriel are together, you're gonna get to see a deeper side of their relationship. You know, they can get to show, like what I said a while ago, they get to show all these love languages that they didn't get to express to each other last season. And now that they're together, there will be other conflicts also, like other forces can pull them apart, and that's going to be the challenge for the both of them. and I hope it's gonna be worth it. Because all I want for these characters are to be happy because it's what they deserve after everything they've been through.
Yeah.
And I guess the fans and the audience are just gonna have to wait and see.
Well, that's very much what the fans want too, I think, for them to be happy and get what they deserve. So that's very exciting tease. Thank you both. I think what do you think sets Game Boys apart? You know, why do you think it's been so popular? What do you think makes it special compared, you know, because there's a lot of BL stories out there, but Game Boys has really taken off in a way that most don't in the same way. Yeah. So what's special about your show?
But I think first and foremost, it's how we shot the whole thing, how the story was told. It was told through video calls. It was told through the lens of social media, and the fact that it was set in the pandemic and it was just honest and genuine with that whole situation. It was brave enough to tackle whatever struggles the characters are struggling through, even amidst this, even amidst this environment that they're living in, and the fact that even they both lived through this pandemic and they still found love, it just proves that there's hope. And I guess that's what the audiences are latching on.
That's really beautiful.
You're correct. Yeah. I mean, the story itself is very relatable.
Yeah.
And aside from his very handsome face.
And I have my baby. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I have a feeling that 100% of the audiences are just like watching, just staring into Kokoy's eyes. And they can't do anything because he's mine.
I thought they're gonna say that they're gonna stare at the monitor and then they're just gonna count how many times I say baby.
Yeah, they do. It's a drinking game.
So, I wanted to ask actually about, you know, for the film, before it's come out, you guys did all these amazing posters that people loved, all these movie homages online. Can you tell me a bit about what that was like to do, and maybe do you have a favorite in particular that you like?
Baby.
My favorite is, I love the Notebook. You know what, baby? Because
Why?
Get me so wet, baby. So,
God,
I mean the whole process. I mean the photo shoot. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it feels like you're in a new role, you know. And most of the film I've seen it. I've already seen it, and it feels surreal. You know, portraying these characters that we just saw it in the monitor, in the TV. It feels so good, baby. Doing it with you, it feels so good.
Yeah, that was fun to do.
That was fun.
The fact that we were photographed by one of the most prominent photographers here in the Philippines, Raymond Isaac. It was a privilege to work with him and to work with Kokoy as well. And the whole concept for it, I think it was brave, just putting classic love stories and showing everyone that it can work in any gender and that love is just love. And I thought that message was very powerful, even just through the posters and everything.
Yeah, definitely. I think I really love, these are very straight, white Hollywood films, and they've been reimagined in such an amazing, unique way where we don't see enough. So beyond the film, I maybe you can't say anything, but I wondered, can you tell me perhaps about the future of Game Boys beyond the film, or is it kind of too early to talk about that?
To be honest, we don't know. Sorry.
Sorry,
David. We really don't know what's next for Cairo and Gabriel. We just hope for the best for them. But if you do watch the movie, and if you do watch the ending of the second season, there are hints like where their characters are going, what's next for them. And I think the key finding out is to watch the movie, buy a ticket, and say no to piracy.
Wow. Yeah.
I think that's the key. We have to reach Game Boys Season 10 and Season 50 and a Game Boys amusement park. All these things. So like big things for Game Boys.
Definitely.
Okay, baby.
Well, Well, that reminds me actually as well. I really also like the spin-off, the Pearl Next Door, because Pearl is
Oh, you
also
saw it
Yeah.
too?
so great. Pearl is such a great character who definitely deserves her own show. Can you just tell me, you guys were in it quickly. You had a couple of scenes which were really great. Can you tell me a bit about what that was like? Because you weren't the center all of a sudden. You were kind of just hopping over to a new show. What was that like for you both?
You know what? We're always asking Derek and the whole team that can we appear to that series? Because you know we miss shooting in our home and we miss Pearl, we miss Adriana. Because we don't used to this kind of, you know, we're not in the series and we just miss them.
Yeah, we basically begged the producers and the bosses to put us in that show just to appear, even just for a scene. We basically begged for that. And it was really exciting when they announced the spin-off. I think it was early into the first season of Game Boys. And Pearl was such an iconic character already. In herself. Like, and we were just excited for Adriana so also for her to show, you know, what's next for Pearl. And the fact that there's basically a Game Boys cinematic universe. Like, goodbye, push away the Marvel cinematic universe. And the Game Boys universe can be bigger than everybody thinks because we didn't think it was going to be this big. And the story keeps expanding and expanding. And the messages told in Pearl Next Door were powerful and like very much different from what Game Boys was trying to say.
Definitely. Yeah, forget Marvel. Who needs Marvel? Like,
yeah, forget Marvel.
So boring. I just have time for one more question, if that's okay. And I just wanted to ask kind of a more general question about Game Boys and its impact. I want to know what message do you hope fans take away from the show? What do you hope sticks with people once they finish watching this and also the film too?
You know, there's a lot of messages that Game Boy is trying to say, but the thing that stuck with me the most is that I learned a lot of things while making it, and I learned a lot of things while watching it. And you know, especially for my character Cairo, it's that you should never apologize for being who you are. Never apologize for who you love, and you know that about the acceptance of one's identity, and that love can overcome everything, even something as big as this pandemic. And that's a really special message, I think. Game Boy saved my life.
You saved me, baby. You saved me.
You saved me too, babe.
I mean, for me, I just want to say that don't be afraid, just like what you said. Don't be afraid and just be who you are. And you don't need anyone's validation. That's the most important. You don't need anyone's validation. Love is love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I may just add, regarding like the messages we get from fans, I think something just struck me recently. Like there was this YouTube reactor from Latin America. His name's Tico, and he was telling us that he was inspired to come out because of Game Boy. That was really powerful, you see. But at the same time, I think the story is trying to say that only you will know when it's time to come out, and only you can say when it's time to be yourself. So just take your time. Whatever happens, love yourself. That's the most important thing.